the relationship became fragile.
Okay.
Because Paul Mooney had Richard's son by that time.
Okay.
And he violated.
Paul Mooney, while a friend of Richard Pryor,
or oldest son at the time, Richard Jr., actually violating him.
Paul Mooney's life, Sean said if Richard Pryor had not caught him,
was only like 5 minutes long.
In the wake of Paul Mooney's passing, numerous comedians and actors in the Hollywood industry have expressed their reflections. Amidst the tributes, various bombshells and controversies have emerged, creating a complex narrative. Yet, it appears that the enigma surrounding these events is gradually being unraveled. Among the pantheon of legendary comedians, Paul Mooney stands out as a luminary who not only masterfully elicited laughter, but also fearlessly tackled the crucial issues of racism and discrimination through his comedic brilliance. Mooney was a trailblazer, consistently challenging Hollywood and unapologetically holding it accountable for instances of racism and colorism as he fearlessly used his platform to address these pressing matters.
Hollywood likes you in a certain way. They like you a certain way. They have Hollywood's interesting. They like you a certain way when you're black.
Paul Mooney's legacy in the heart of Hollywood unfolds as a mesmerizing and intricate narrative, delving deep into the underbelly of the entertainment industry. It lays bare both the allure of Hollywood and its sinister undercurrents. The comedian, who passed away in 2021 due to a heart attack, has sparked speculation among fans regarding the circumstances of his demise. Some are questioning whether his exit was a result of natural causes or if foul play was involved. Why the skepticism? Well, buckle up, because Mooney had a reputation for fearlessly speaking his mind. With an audacious attitude, he made a habit of exposing Hollywood's secrets. Mooney didn't hold back when it came to calling out the darker aspects of the glamorous world of celebrities. For over 3 decades, Mooney's unique position...
Clap. A lot of you are clapping. A lot of you house are scared. Just... You're gonna get us in trouble. No emotion, no reaction.
Revolving around the iconic Richard Pryor, not only provided him with a front row seat, but also granted him an insider's pass to the inner sanctum of Tinseltown. In this distinctive role, he witnessed the unsavory facets of racism, power dynamics, and disloyalty that festered beneath the veneer of glitz and glamour. Personality-wise, Paul Mooney was often characterized as cocky, straightforward, sharp-tongued, and rude. Moreover, Mooney himself acknowledged that he drew inspiration for his comedy from his own life experiences. His bold and unapologetic approach to shedding light on the industry's shadows leaves an indelible mark on Hollywood's narrative. In a revealing 2008 interview with Real Black TV, Paul Mooney offered intriguing insights into the intricate dynamics of race, reputation, and compromise within Hollywood. With a wry smile, he provocatively remarked, "Hollywood's interesting. They like you a certain way when you're black. You damn near have to be a black Anglo-Saxon." This candid admission hinted at the industry's inherent bias, demanding black artists to conform to a specific image, often requiring them to sacrifice their true selves for a chance at acceptance. Mooney, however, staunchly resisted conformity. Unapologetically himself, he recognized that the spotlight often came at the cost of authenticity. With unwavering resolve, he stood against the current, fully aware of the unspoken rules dictating the treatment of black talents in Hollywood. Paul Mooney's astute observations, particularly his scrutiny of the revered Sidney Poitier, often hailed as the epitome of a perfect Negro in Hollywood, contributed to the solidification of his convictions. Despite Poitier's exceptional performances and respect, he grappled with the biases ingrained in Hollywood. Notably, Poitier's iconic slap of a white man in the movie In the Heat of the Night in 1969 marked a significant shift, revealing the fragility of the supposedly perfect image propagated by Hollywood. In an unapologetic 2010 interview with Pop Matters, Mooney fearlessly pulled back the curtain on the fickleness lurking beneath Hollywood's facade of loyalty. He openly remarked, "White people are not very loyal to their perfect Negro or to their house Negroes. As soon as they're not in, they'll drop them like a hot potato." These words served as a stark revelation, dismantling the illusions that often concealed the industry's true nature. Mooney was never one to shy away from calling out Hollywood elites. In a bold move, he directed his critique at a prominent talk show personality, strongly suggesting that she harbored a secret desire to change her racial identity. Going all in, he labeled her a degree-carrying Aunt Jemima, asserting, "Oprah is a double agent. Oprah is a danger to us. Oprah is Aunt Jemima with a degree." Mooney's comments were in reference to a moment when the talk show icon revealed in an interview with Barbara Walters that she had once contemplated being white.
Did you ever wish you were white?
Yeah. Paul Mooney's controversial statements about Queen Oprah Winfrey may have initially been met with more groans than laughs, but as she faces criticism today, Mooney's lack of trust in her becomes more notable. Mooney's brilliance and incisive social commentary were prominently showcased in his infamous Chappelle's Show sketch, Ask a Black Dude. With audacious candor, he dissected the paradox of being black in America, delivering a sly grin and a sardonic tone. He provocatively declared, "Everybody want to be a N, but don't nobody want to be a N." This acerbic statement served as a direct critique of mainstream media's tendency to appropriate black culture while conveniently erasing its origins. Icons like Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson, and Tina Turner had all been plucked from the rich tapestry of black culture, repackaged as pop and rock stars, with their roots discarded for the sake of marketability. Mooney's astute observations went beyond veiled critique. He wielded humor as a potent weapon of truth. With cunning wit, he warned, "That's what I told some black people the other night at my show. I said, don't get too fond of me, because white folks will come in and take me. They only want N-Jiggers to have a little bit of fun." This provocative assertion hinted at the industry's inclination to extract momentary amusement from black talents, while being hesitant to grant them true agency and authority. Paul Mooney's filmography, though relatively modest in volume, conveyed profound messages through its deliberate choices, serving as a testament to his unwavering commitment to exposing Hollywood's darker corners. His roles in Robert Townsend's Hollywood Shuffle and Spike Lee's Bamboozled were strategic moves that positioned him as a disruptor of Hollywood's norms.
I hope that you're all paid up members of the NAACP Hollywood branch. Thank you. We felt we had to put our foot down.
In Hollywood Shuffle, Mooney portrayed an NAACP president leading a protest against Townsend's character, who depicted a demeaning stereotype in a blaxploitation film. The rallying cry, "They'll never play the Rambos until they stop playing the Sambos," served as a poignant critique of the exploitative cycle perpetuated by Hollywood. Mooney's character in the film dissected the troubling trend of black actors embracing degrading roles crafted by white creators, highlighting the industry's complicity in perpetuating harmful stereotypes. Continuing his exploration of Hollywood's shadows in Bamboozled, Mooney's role as Junebug, a stand-up comic navigating the tension between authenticity and crossover success, mirrored his own convictions. Like Mooney, Junebug steadfastly refused to compromise his principles for the seduction of stardom. When questioned about his absence from the grand stage, Junebug's retort was a declaration of defiance.
I got too much pride, too much dignity, integrity. I can't do that Hollywood stuff, man. I can't say that stuff they want me to say.
The parallels between Junebug's fictional struggle and Mooney's real-life journey were striking. Throughout his career, Mooney remained steadfast in the face of Hollywood's tempting promises, resisting the allure of wealth and fame. He emerged as a guardian of authenticity in an industry that often prioritized appearances over substance. Junebug's declaration that he was funny as hell resonated with Mooney's own mastery, symbolizing an unwavering commitment to unapologetic truth-telling. Meanwhile, fans continue to honor and preserve Paul Mooney's legacy by reflecting on the numerous instances when he fearlessly called out Hollywood and its elites. One of them wrote, "You can't be mad at the man. He knows his worth, and he won't ever give up his dignity. He always got his point across one way or another." A lot folks said Dr. Dre was difficult to work with, but at the end, you always ended up with a flawless routine song. Another one added, "Paul Mooney is one of Dave Chappelle role models and taught him some of the game and helped him realize his worth to eventually leave Hollywood because Paul was never going to sell out for Hollywood." One more fan wrote, "Mr. Mooney is an icon. I listen and watch his old stand-ups from time to time, and I still laugh as hard as I did when I watched and listened the first time. He's more of a truth teller. And most of the things he said in the past are just as relevant today as they were back then. The timing of Mooney's controversies hitting the headlines has sparked speculation that Hollywood may not have been a mere bystander. Whispers in the industry suggest that behind-the-scenes maneuvers were at play, with Hollywood possibly orchestrating media exposure to highlight perceived missteps in an attempt to silence him. One particularly damning allegation that sent shockwaves through the entertainment world was the claim that Mooney had committed a serious offense against Richard Pryor's son. In 2019, Richard Pryor's former bodyguard, Roshan Khan, publicly asserted these shocking accusations. In an interview with Comedy Hype, Khan boldly stated that Mooney had engaged in this reprehensible act when Pryor's son was just a child. Adding to the gravity of the situation, Khan disclosed that Pryor himself had expressed a desire to see Mooney face dire consequences for the alleged incident.
I think if Paul Mooney would come out what the gay folks call come out of the closet, he would be one of the top comedians.
To further fuel the fire, Jennifer Lee Pryor, Richard Pryor's widow, affirmed the allegations made by Khan. The unfolding truth gained momentum, with Pryor's son eventually confirming that he had been a victim of the crime. However, he never explicitly named Mooney as his assailant. Pryor's son was also taken in question. When questioned by TMZ about the allegations against Mooney, Pryor Jr. commented, "Whatever happened in my life, it happened when I was young, way before the 80s. When asked whether the alleged S relationship was consensual, Pryor Jr. responded, "How can any relationship be consensual if I was a teenager?" Moreover, the former bodyguard made some more serious allegations. The controversy surrounding Paul Mooney reached a new level with a recent interview featuring Richard Pryor's former bodyguard and trainer, Roshan Khan. In the interview with Comedy Hype, conducted ahead of the release of his book, Everything Wasn't Funny, Khan claimed that the late comedian Richard Pryor had put a hit out on Mooney after learning that Mooney had slept with Pryor's son. Khan detailed how the friendship between Pryor and Mooney, which had endured for a long time, soured after Pryor discovered the alleged affair. According to Khan, the strain on their relationship began around 1986 during the release of JoJo Dancer, Your Life is Calling, a semi-autobiographical film starring Pryor. He asserted that the rift emerged because Paul had an explicit relationship with his son. Roshan Khan also alleges that Richard Pryor was prepared to offer someone $1 million to K. Paul Mooney. Initially skeptical, Khan thought Pryor was merely under the influence of substances. However, Pryor's unwavering insistence on having the hit carried out led Khan to discover that Mooney's involvement with Pryor's son was the driving force behind the request. Despite Pryor's intent, the hit never materialized due to a dramatic incident in 1980 when the comedian famously lit himself on fire. Khan suggests, "That's what saved Paul Mooney's life. Had Richard not caught on fire, Paul Mooney would not be here." Khan also says that Pryor's son never knew his father knew about Mooney sleeping with him until Khan revealed it to him. Since then, a publicist for Mooney said that there is no validity to Roshan Khan's statement as it relates to Mr. Paul Mooney. Jennifer Lee Pryor, Pryor's widow, has also spoken on Khan's interview and said that Pryor Jr. confirmed that Mooney slept with him. Despite the serious allegations, no formal charges were ever brought against Mooney during his lifetime. Tragically, Mooney passed away on May 19, 2021, at the age of 79, leaving behind a legacy overshadowed by controversy and unanswered questions. Paul Mooney's declining health had been evident for some time. In 2019, TMZ reported that Mooney had to cancel stand-up shows due to health reasons, as indicated by a sign outside an Atlanta, Georgia theater. Mooney's sons, Daryl and Dwayne, confirmed that their father backed out of the shows due to both mental and physical ailments. In an interview with Comedy Hype, they mentioned, "The only reason Paul Mooney didn't go to Atlanta is because he's ailing mentally and physically. He's not what he was, he's slower." Daryl rhetorically questioned, "Don't you think he would be up here to talk if he wasn't unwell?" referring to his father's famous penchant for having the last word on any topic. His representative, Cassandra Williams, confirmed the news, stating, "It just happened." She confirmed that the comedian had no prior health issues, making his death even more shocking. Williams added, "He was with family. It was in his home." Mooney's Twitter account seemingly confirmed the news as well, with a tweet expressing gratitude and acknowledging the outpouring of love. "Thank you all from the bottom of all of our hearts. You all are the best." Mooney World, the godfather of comedy. One moon, many stars. To all in love with this great man, many thanks. Furthermore, in 2021, comedian Pierre shared a personal and heartfelt account of his experiences and interactions with the iconic comedian Paul Mooney. He started by recalling his initial encounter with Mooney in 1987 when Mooney opened for Eddie Murphy during the Raw tour. Pierre was profoundly affected by Mooney's fearless and unapologetic commentary about white people, a style of comedy he had never witnessed before. Pierre's admiration for Mooney deepened as he recounted frequenting the Comedy Store in Hollywood, a revered hub for comedians. Mooney held a distinctive position at the club, consistently performing last and captivating the audience with unfiltered truth-telling. Pierre emphasized that Mooney's candid approach often prompted white audience members to exit the room within minutes, a testament to his uncompromising and provocative style.
We're hearing this guy was talking about white folks so bad. And I was like, who is this dude? I was shocked. Man, to just talk about white folks like crazy. I never heard nobody talk about white people like that before.
Despite the divisive reactions, Mooney's impact on fellow comedians, including Pierre, was profound.
And I remember hearing this guy was talking about white folks so bad. And I was like, who is this dude? I was shocked. I remember sitting in a place called the Capitol Center in Maryland. I was sitting up at a top rafter looking down.
Pierre expressed the relief and joy he experienced watching Mooney tackle subjects that many people wanted to discuss, but were hesitant to. Mooney became a voice for those who shared similar perspectives. As their friendship developed over time, Pierre shared lighthearted anecdotes about his interactions with Mooney, playfully referring to him as Paul Cooney. Beneath Mooney's stern exterior, Pierre recognized the authenticity and bravery embedded in his comedy. Pierre also commended Mooney for his generosity in sharing jokes and material with other comedians, including the legendary Richard Pryor. This spirit of giving and humility set Mooney apart in an industry often marked by competition. The comedian shed light on Mooney's experiences and challenges, including performing in smaller venues like Chitlin circuits when mainstream comedy clubs were less receptive to his work. Pierre emphasized that many, especially the younger generation familiar with Mooney through Dave Chappelle, might not fully grasp the depth of Mooney's legacy and the sacrifices he made. D.L. Hughley, another comedian, eloquently lauded the exceptional talents of Paul Mooney. In 2021, Hughley shared deep and insightful reflections on his experiences and interactions with the legendary comedian, highlighting the profound impact Mooney had on him. Hughley emphasized the invaluable lessons he gained from Mooney during their shared journey. In various roles, Mooney served as a mentor, imparting wisdom on performance, fearlessness, effectively channeling anger, and even offering practical demonstrations of what to avoid on the comedic stage.
I can say this almost every single time I was around Paul, I learned something. He's one of the rare individuals I can point to in my life where I know that I learned something throughout every interaction.
Hughley's tribute to Mooney consistently touched upon the comedian's complexity. While others might label him as complicated, Hughley viewed Mooney's indignant and acerbic comedic style as a distinctive attribute. He recognized that Mooney might not be perceived as warm, but he admired Mooney's unwavering dedication to his craft and his unapologetic vocalization of his significant contributions to the comedy world. Paul Mooney's memorable appearance on the groundbreaking television program, Chappelle's Show, served as a transformative moment that introduced him to a new generation and left an enduring impact on the world of comedy. In a candid 2021 encounter captured by TMZ outside the Soho Grand Hotel in New York City, Dave Chappelle openly expressed his profound respect and admiration for Mooney. Widely recognized for his role as a writer for comedy legend Richard Pryor, Mooney received heartfelt words from Chappelle that resonated deeply with both the comedy community and fans. Chappelle's genuine reverence for Mooney was unmistakable as he openly declared his admiration, creating a poignant moment that showcased the enduring influence of Mooney's comedic legacy.
I want to shout out every comedian on earth, one of the best that ever did it, passed away today. His legacy will live forever. He did everything from Richard Pryor Show to Chappelle Show.
This tribute beautifully captured Mooney's remarkable contributions to the world of comedy.
His brilliant, groundbreaking comedy opened doors and paved the way for a whole new generation of today's black comedians.
What's even more noteworthy is that even the controversial figure Steve Harvey had positive things to say about the comedian. In 2021, Steve Harvey delivered a heartfelt and detailed tribute to the iconic comedian Paul Mooney on his radio show, adding a layer of depth and warmth to his homage due to their personal connection dating back to the early 90s. Harvey recounted his initial meeting with Mooney at Caroline's in New York during a time when he was performing at the Apollo Theater. Mooney would frequently visit the Apollo late at night, and their friendship began over casual meals. Their camaraderie extended to Los Angeles, where they both delved into writing rooms, solidifying their bond within the world of comedy. Steve Harvey emphasized that comedians, even those who never had the chance to meet Paul Mooney, owed him a significant debt of gratitude. He underscored Mooney's pioneering role in comedy, suggesting that Mooney embodied what Def Jam comedy represented even before its official existence. Mooney was known for fearlessly addressing bold and controversial subjects in front of large audiences, consistently defying societal norms and challenging the status quo.
See, that's the ultimate compliment when you get called a couple of MFs. That's when they love you for real.
Furthermore, Harvey emphasized that Paul Mooney played a pivotal and influential role in shaping the careers of some of the greatest comedians. His impact went beyond providing jokes. He played an essential part in the success and growth of legends such as Richard Pryor, Flip Wilson, and Red Fox. Mooney's contributions were foundational in molding their comedic identities and voices. What's even more alarming is the observation that Mooney faced a similar targeting, reminiscent of the current situation with Cat. Presently, Cat is taking a prominent stance and shedding light on the industry's questionable practices. According to reports, Mooney was allegedly ousted because he consistently spoke out against the nefarious actions within the industry, showcasing a pattern of resistance against unjust practices that transcends generations in the comedy world. He asserted, "For 30 years, they're a group. These aren't three random guys. All of these dudes are co-entwined and they share secrets, and this is the age of truth." We have many examples where the comedians left their jobs, such as Sinbad. Once hailed as one of the comedy greats of his era, Sinbad has mysteriously faded from the spotlight for an extended period. Sinbad sympathizes with the struggle of the black man, but made it very clear that he doesn't accept such struggles as an excuse to tap out on life or to get out of your responsibilities. "I understand why black men feel like we feel, but we can't use it as no excuse. I ain't down with no excuse, man. I refuse to accept that as an excuse. At some point, we have to quit complaining and take what we want. We don't take what we want. I look at brothers saying, man, I can't pay this child support. She won't even let me see my kid. If someone took your car from you, you would chase them and fight them. If someone took your car, your golf clubs out your car, you would find your golf clubs. There ain't a woman that can keep me from my child. There is not a woman walking, even if I hate you, that can keep me from my child." During the dynamic decades of the 1980s and 90s, Sinbad emerged as a ubiquitous presence in the entertainment landscape. His comedic prowess seemed to touch every facet of television and film during that period. As the millennium approached, Sinbad not only headlined numerous comedy specials, but also demonstrated his versatility by delving into television, where he portrayed Coach Oaks on A Different World and took the lead in his own sitcom. Moreover, he made a lasting impact on the silver screen with memorable roles in films such as House Guest, Jingle All the Way, and Coneheads.
Look, man, I need that number. I got state payroll forms, workman's comp.
Nevertheless, as the years unfolded, the once omnipresent Sinbad gradually receded from the limelight. Despite maintaining activity in various projects such as films, comedy specials, and TV shows, the vibrant energy that had captivated audiences in the latter part of the 20th century seemed to wane. His on-screen presence shifted from the camera to the microphone, emphasizing behind-the-scenes endeavors. Acknowledging the decline in his visibility, Sinbad humorously confronted his changing status in his 2010 special aptly titled "Where You Been?" To many fans, it seemed as though the lively comedian had momentarily vanished from the entertainment scene. However, Sinbad was far from absent, choosing an alternative path to showcase his comedic talent.
It's like 30, 40 comics. I said, that one there is going to make it. And I'm going to borrow money from her.
Sinbad encountered challenges in managing his finances, particularly in handling his bank accounts and meeting tax obligations. While the exact origins of his financial struggles are not explicitly pinpointed, a decrease in work opportunities in the early 2000s compared to the preceding decade likely played a role. This decline in income exacerbated his financial woes, leading to substantial debts with various entities, including the state of California and the federal government. Despite achieving success in both television and film, Sinbad faced a sudden disappearance from the entertainment scene, juxtaposed with his earlier fame and financial success. In contemporary times, securing opportunities with major platforms like Netflix proved to be a challenge for him. Sinbad recently disclosed, "Yeah, they won't call me. Netflix? No, they said, we have an analytical structure. We have analytics that decide who should be on stage. I told my agent that I'm going to just write my own stuff and put some shows together, and then when they come in, I'll say I want $21 million. As is common for celebrities whose career is in a slump, Sinbad turned to the world of reality television. He appeared on Donald Trump's Celebrity Apprentice during the program's 2010 season. Sinbad had known the future politician for years, having performed in various Trump casinos in the 1980s. That said, he wasn't exactly a fan, telling Pasadena Weekly, "He's always been a jerk and selfish. New Yorkers let him get away with too much, like a baby that doesn't get corrected. And it grows up a nightmare." Despite his low opinion of Trump, he agreed to appear on his reality series. The Apprentice was supposed to be a joke, picking a guy who was bankrupt multiple times and letting him tell people they're fired, he explained to the outlet. However, it ended up being no laughing matter, as he came to regret doing the series. "I should have never done the show, but they said it was for charity," he said, before going on to add that altruism was the last thing on Trump's mind. Ultimately, Sinbad was fired from the program, having lost to Bret Michaels. Speaking about his experience on Oprah, Where Are They Now?, Sinbad said that he wished he'd used the "you're fired" catchphrase during his boardroom scene. And looking back, Paul has also talked on politics, and that's when he got embroiled in controversies, and his downfall started. Despite the controversies surrounding Mooney, his undeniable legacy in the comedy world remains significant. Known for his sharp wit and fearless approach in addressing social issues, Mooney stood as a respected figure in the industry. His impactful contributions to popular shows such as In Living Color and Chappelle's Show solidified his status as a talented comedian. Mooney's influence on upcoming generations of comedians is profound, as his unapologetic style paved the way for many to use humor as a means to challenge societal norms. With sharp insights and a bold rejection of conformity, he dismantled layers of deception, revealing an industry grounded in exploitation and artifice. His enduring legacy is inseparable from his fearless dedication to exposing the shadows within an industry that thrived on secrets and pretense. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.